Shouldn't that turn off the holograms too? I'm not gonna check, but just saying, shouldn't it? So are these no longer useful? Yeah, they're so useful. Okay. Thought I could destroy it. Ooh, terminal. Exhaustion. Mr. Keys, how many seems to have gotten worse, so we ended up order. Okay. Okay. There we go. Automatic braces. Can't do anything with that. Hard pin. Yes, I could always use that. Okay, that's where she is. And go in there. Are you done? Are you done banging? Hello. Oh. The one before you looks disoriented in pain. She blinks a few times, then winces, as if the act of blinking causes... Oh, you're alright. She looks at you, blinks again, then opens her mouth, but nothing comes out. She touches her throat, then traces the scars beneath the chin, and her eyes widen in alarm. Ah. Did somebody cut your vocal cords? She looks shaken. As she glances at the hot dog, she recoils and her mouth opens, but again, nothing comes out. She looks back at you, and her hands clench her fist. Her arrows narrow. She takes a step back, studying you. This isn't what it looks like. The woman opens her mouth again, winces, then frowns and drags her finger across her throat, and in slow motion she looks. Frowning, she touches her throat again gently, then her hand pushes her collar, and then her frown deepens. Her eyes narrow. She traces the edge of the collar unit until she finds the block. She begins to press it with her fingers. It's bomb-colored. Mess with that. Mess with it. It'll go off. Don't do that. She looks surprised, then notices your collar, raises an eyebrow. You just now notice my collar? Let's just say we're in this together. Let's say we're in this together. She frowns, narrows her eyes, then slowly shakes her head. I kinda are. We need to cooperate if we're going to get out of here. She shakes her head again and draws a line in the air between the two of you. Can we please work together? Look, together we can get out of this. She shakes her head once, then crosses her arms. You're not crossing your arms. You're not crossing your arms. Look, I'm not trying to order you, but your life is tied to mine. What exactly is wrong? Don't you want out of here? She frowns, glances at the collar, looks back at you. She makes a circle with her hands, puts her hand over her eyes, and then squints. She nods at you, then lowers her hand from her eyes, shakes her head. She draws a slow line between you. I don't know. You're looking for something else. Fine, I can help. She studies you again, then her expression softens slightly. She shakes her head slowly and gives a silent sigh. She nods at you, then raises an eyebrow and nods at the door. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. Alright, come with me. Christine nods and steps slightly behind you, reading. Okay, Christina has given you the signal interference back. This gives you a short period of time near speaking before your bomb call starts to activate, as well as increase the amount of time before your bomb call dynamics by 50%. That seems amazing. I will want to keep that. Thank you for that. Thank you very much. Level up! Let's put that 100. Let's see. Survival. Should probably do survival. And let's put everything else in repair. So glances at the speaker, then glances at your collar, frowning. As a decayed speaker, if we stay too long near one, it'll go off. She taps the collar, then opens and closes her hand really fast. Like beeping? Beeping? She taps the collar, then opens and closes her hand really fast. Saying that's beef. She puts out your Pip-Boy, her collar, and then your collar after a second, then she opens and closes her hand slower. So, Science 60. You can interfere with the speaker's detonation frequency somehow. She is about to nod, then stops, pointing at her, so shakes her head. Shakes it. No? And then hers, then nod at your Pip-Boy. She makes a triangle motion in the same slow pulse. Does that work with any other caller? She frowns slowly, but her head, her opens her mouth, and then makes the motion of turning a dial, then points at herself. It's just your frequency. She nods once, then again, points at the two of you, then the Pip-Boy. The Pip-Boy helps, okay. I know. But only between us. She nods and motions for you to go ahead. Do you have anything else to say? There's an eyebrow. This face skull's run but down by the skull was. She nods slowly, then puts her hand in front of her throat, closes it slowly, then points at you. I can't restore your voice. We need a real autodoc to do that. She shows slightly, shakes her head. You don't want your voice restored? I don't understand why they shaved you bald. Looks blankly, then touches her head, smiles, and then shakes her head. You okay with that? But the autodoc didn't shave you bald? She raises her hand, then shakes her head. She then nods in the direction of the casino. The casino did it? No, wait, I want to hear this. You were bald before? She nods with an exasperated look, then makes a circle with her hands. Repeat it twice more, then raises her hand. Okay, she puts both hands in front of her, then makes this motion with her hands as if writing something. You're a brotherhood of wait. You're a brother... Let's do the intelligence. Wait, there's a brotherhood of steel symbol, right? You're a scribe? She nods, looks impressed. What, were you looking for something? She shakes her head and makes a motion of 2 fingers walking, so she was following someone. She was following. You were over the moon. You were looking for someone. She nods and raises a finger. Okay. Raises a finger. A man? She nods, she makes a motion with her hands around her chin, drawing it down. Then she raises her hand and clutches it at the sky. An angry, bearded man. She points at your pet board. Man on the pit board, holotape, Elijah. She nods, looks concerned, taps the side of her head, and expands her hand. Someone smart? She nods and circles her ears. Isn't it Elijah? It's Elijah. And nuts. She nods and frowns. Okay, she's sad about that. Sounds like it's pretty important to you to find this person. She frowns, raises 2 fingers, and has them walk together. She looks down at the 2 fingers and her face becomes angry. Then she drops a hand down and draws the 2 fingers apart. One of the fingers she points at herself. He cut you off from someone? She nods. Family, husband? She frowns, shakes her head, and even more so at husband. Boyfriend? She shakes her head. Okay, it's a female. What, your wife? She shakes her head, but rolls it side to side. Girlfriend? Girlfriend? She hesitates, then raises her hand. Is that yes? You're more than girlfriends, lovers. She nods and looks at you, a little surprised. Okay. What, you think I don't understand love? She raises an eyebrow, looks at you. Okay, so she says that she doesn't think I understand love. And I understand how important a loved one can be. She's not slowly studying you, she seems to be gauging you again. Why? Could you please restore her vocal cords? I had other questions. She raises an eyebrow, then tilts her head slightly. How'd you... Can you communicate some other way? Can you write? Chrissy frowns, then pauses and traces one of the scars on her head with her finger. She makes a motion as if picking up a pencil, tries to write, then shakes her head. So she can't write. So her brain's in damage, or she shakes her head, then stops as if thinking. She pauses, then draws a jagged symbol like a tricity in the air, then puts on an odd stare. She keeps the blank face for a second, then slowly blinks, looks around. She looks at her hands, shakes them, then lets them go limp. As a specific form of brain surgery, it loses electrodes pre-war. She nods slowly, then makes the motion of typing and drawing X's, lines of the area, then gives a thumbs up. Still do numbers and calculations. Okay. So she can do math, but she can't write. Okay. What weapons are you skilled at? Christine draws a jagged lightning bolt in the air, throwing a grenade, then pulls an imaginary knife from behind her back. Then she moves her feet shoulder with the butt, holds hands up in motion stance, then turns both hands into pistols. She then holds the pistols as an aiming long throw, does a single shot, and with a nod. So, okay, energy weapons, explosives, melee, unarmed, and guns. Is that all? She nods once. So once means yes. Okay. How did you end up with the autodock? She moves a circle of frowns that drags her hand down over her eyes. She raises them again, points to you. You were knocked out. She nods, she raises an eyebrow, points at you, makes a circle, then points at your feet. You want to know how I got here? She smiles, nods. I followed a radio signal. She repeats the circular motion again. This time she lowers her hand and circles her finger inward until she's pointing at the spot between you. Instead of pointing at the ground, point between you two, she raises an eyebrow. Followed radio signal here, a woman's voice. She waits. After a second, she raises her eyebrow again. That's how I got here. I ask her, news spies. I was curious where it led. She looks at you for a second, studying you, then nods. So you accept that I was curious? She points at you, then points at the casino, and she slowly shakes her head, then points at the direction of the main gate. If I could leave, I would. If I could leave, I would. She looks at you for a moment, then says a call, shrugs, and then grabs her neck with both hands, holds it for a moment. She then, her hands fall away, she looks at you, looks at the exit, and nods. Are you saying it's one or the other? She frowns, glances in the direction of the casino, then the exit, then back at the direction of the casino. So you think I'm here for the money? She shrugs without strength or conviction. She isn't looking at you when she does. What about you? She slowly shakes her head, then points at the ground. She doesn't know how she got here. Questions. Do you know what those machines around the villa are? She shakes her head, then pauses and makes a small finger. Okay. She points at you and makes the motion of putting something in her palm. Here's a Sierra Madre chip. Here's a Sierra Madre chip. I'll need that back. She examines the chip for a second, raises it to her eye, then turns it to the side, gauging its diameter and width. She points her finger at the surface, slowly checking the engraving. She then tosses the chip back to you. Sorry. She then pretends to look around, sees something on the floor, then pretends to bend down and pick it up. She then looks at you and nods. You can scrounge more somehow? She smiles, nods. How can you do that? What? She stands still for a second, then stops and slowly makes a motion of bending down and scooping something up. What? Then she puts the whole image out in her hand as if heavy and puts it in front of her as if on the table. She then hefts it, looks small works, pours it on the top of the objects, look at it, then reaches down and holds up a small zero. You can make more of those at a workbench with the right materials. Okay, I see now. I see. What is it, scrap metal? Makes a motion of opening it up and removing something from it. She then raises her hand and makes a motion of smashing it and holding up the remains. So scrap metal. Okay, you need a battery, a fission battery, and scrap metal. And you can counterfeit the chips. I don't know where you got a battery. I understand the scrap metal, but I don't know where the battery came from. Okay. She nods impressed, then points at you from her hair, then her, and makes a circle. Can you teach me how to do it? She nods, then she makes a series of hand motions to represent weight and amount, and absolutely you think you could do it on your own. Like Christina has taught you to the corn operator perk, she allowing you to make Sierra Madre chips, metal slugs, add workbenches using fission metal. Okay. How did you get here? The direction of the main gate, the points at her collar, shakes her head, and locks her hands around her neck. Then her hands lash outwards, her fingers sprawled, and she rolls her eyes back. After a second, she turns back to you. So once the collar is gone, we can leave. She nods going on, after thinking, then she raises an eyebrow, looks skeptical, and then shrugs. She points downwards, making a circle around her, then back to the same spot, and then her fingers start circling, and she makes a... You're saying it'll be difficult to return if we leave. She shakes her head, points at herself, then points at you, nods. To return here if I leave. She nods. Okay. So once I leave, I can't come back, but not you. She nods once. Okay, if we leave, I can't come back, but you can come back. Why can't you find your way back? She still shakes her head, she points at the ground, then moves each leg outwards, straddling the place where she's pointing. You aren't going to leave. She nods. Why are you not going to leave? Trying to break into the casino, so you're after the treasure then? She frowns, shakes her head, pauses, then tilts her head, slightly nods slowly. So she's kinda after the treasure. Alright. Restrict equipment. Oh, I got a police pistol? What? Fuck, I have like no ammo for it.